On April 14, 2019, in Portland, Oregon, Sweet Crust Bakery was bustling when its owner, Alex Romero, suddenly collapsed during his shift. Paramedics were called, but Alex was pronounced dead at the scene. Initially, it seemed like a natural death until the medical examiner found traces of a rare, undetectable poison in his system. Detective Jenna Price was assigned to the case. Known for her sharp instincts, she quickly uncovered shocking clues, a betrayal that ran deeper than anyone imagined, and a carefully planned murder carried out by someone Alex trusted most. Who killed Alex Romero, and why? Alex Romero's life was the embodiment of dedication and resilience, but it ended in a tragedy no one saw coming, least of all at the hands of someone he trusted completely. Born in a small town in upstate New York in 1977, Alex grew up in a close-knit Italian-American family. His mother, Maria, was a skilled cook who made every meal feel like a celebration. From her, Alex inherited not just a love for food but also an understanding of how it could bring people together. Maria's kitchen was always warm, bustling with the aromas of fresh bread and simmering sauces, and it became Alex's first classroom. Tragedy struck early in Alex's life when his father passed away unexpectedly. At just 14 years old, Alex stepped up to support his family. He juggled school with part-time jobs, displaying a work ethic that would later define him. Despite the challenges, Alex never lost sight of his dream, to open his own bakery. That dream carried him through culinary school, where he refined his skills and envisioned a life dedicated to the craft he loved. In 2005, armed with his mother's cherished recipes and a small savings, Alex moved to Portland, Oregon. He was drawn to the city's thriving food culture and its potential for someone willing to work hard. Renting a tiny rundown storefront, he opened Sweet Crust Bakery. It was a modest start, with Alex doing everything from baking to cleaning to handing out flyers on the streets. The early days were grueling, but Alex's passion and perseverance began to pay off. By 2010, Sweet Crust Bakery had become a cornerstone of the community. Known for its cozy atmosphere and signature chocolate soufflés, the bakery attracted a loyal following. Alex's customers loved not just his baked goods, but also his warm personality. He had a way of making everyone feel welcome, often remembering their names and favorite treats. To his community, Alex wasn't just a baker, he was a friend. But even as Sweet Crust thrived, cracks were forming in Alex's personal life. Cracks he was too busy or too trusting to see. In 2014, Alex's life took an unexpected turn when he met Lisa Monroe. Lisa was everything Alex wasn't: glamorous, outgoing, and accustomed to a life of luxury. A former model who had worked in New York and Milan, Lisa had moved to Portland after a career-ending knee injury. The two met at a charity gala where Alex was catering desserts. Lisa, intrigued by the buzz around his chocolate soufflés, introduced herself. Their connection was immediate. For Alex, Lisa was dazzling. She represented a world he had only glimpsed from afar. For Lisa, Alex was refreshing, a grounded, hard-working man who stood in stark contrast to the superficiality she had grown weary of. Their whirlwind romance quickly captured the attention of friends and family. Within 6 months, they were married in a small, intimate ceremony. Lisa brought a new energy to Alex's life. She helped promote the bakery, often appearing alongside Alex in local media features. Her charm and elegance drew even more customers to Sweet Crust. On the surface, they seemed like the perfect pair: Alex, the humble baker, and Lisa, the sophisticated former model. But behind closed doors, their differences began to take a toll. Lisa's appetite for luxury soon outpaced what the bakery could provide. Designer clothes, expensive spa treatments, and high-profile social events became routine for her. Alex, ever the optimist, worked longer hours to meet her expectations, often sacrificing his own well-being. While he poured himself into the bakery, Lisa began seeking fulfillment elsewhere. By 2018, their relationship was strained. Lisa's dissatisfaction with Alex's work-focused life grew, and she began spending more time away from home. Her evenings were often spent in the city's upscale nightclubs, reconnecting with old acquaintances and forming new connections. Among those she met was Darius Carter, a charismatic nightclub owner with a reputation for living on the edge. Lisa's interactions with Darius started casually, but quickly deepened. For Lisa, Darius represented the excitement and freedom she felt she had lost. Unbeknownst to Alex, their relationship evolved into an affair, marking a turning point in the couple's already fragile marriage. Alex, focused on his bakery and unaware of Lisa's growing detachment, continued to see her as his partner in life and business. To the outside world, they still appeared to be a power couple. But those closest to Alex noticed the toll Lisa's lavish lifestyle and emotional distance were taking on him. Friends observed his increasing exhaustion and the strain in his usually upbeat demeanor. Despite the cracks in their marriage, Alex remained dedicated to Lisa, hoping that his hard work would eventually bridge the gap between them. His unwavering trust and belief in their partnership made the events that unfolded all the more tragic. Lisa's betrayal wasn't just personal, it was a prelude to a series of actions that would lead to Alex's untimely demise. The morning after Alex Romero's death, Sweet Crust Bakery was unusually quiet. Normally bustling with customers, the bakery now felt heavy with grief. Alex's sudden passing had shocked the community, but to Detective Jenna Price, it didn't seem as simple as the reported heart attack. A seasoned investigator with a sharp instinct for inconsistencies, she knew there was more to this story. Her suspicions were confirmed when the autopsy report arrived. Alex's system contained trace amounts of a rare, lethal poison, so obscure it would have gone undetected without specialized tests. This revelation transformed the case from a natural death to a probable homicide. But how had the poison entered Alex's system, and who had the knowledge and motive to administer it? Detective Price began piecing together the puzzle. The investigation started with Alex's final hours. Jasmine Taylor, Sweet Crust's assistant manager, described Alex as his usual cheerful self that morning. He was talking about expanding the bakery, Jasmine recalled. He seemed hopeful about the future. However, she noted something unusual. Lisa, Alex's wife, had visited the bakery that afternoon with a bag of food. She rarely came by. She always said the smell of baking irritated her, Jasmine added. Security footage confirmed Lisa's presence in the kitchen, where she lingered near the prep area for about 15 minutes. Her movements, while seemingly innocuous, stood out as unusual. During her initial interview, Lisa claimed she had spent the evening shopping downtown. But this alibi quickly unraveled. Surveillance footage from the boutiques she mentioned showed no sign of her presence. Meanwhile, phone records placed her near the bakery at the time of Alex's collapse. These inconsistencies made Lisa a key person of interest in the case. Detective Price turned her attention to Lisa's financial records. She discovered a troubling pattern of large cash withdrawals leading up to Alex's death, including a $5,000 transaction 2 days prior. This money was traced to an account linked to Darius Carter, the owner of the Velvet Room, a nightclub notorious for its ties to illegal activities. Carter and Lisa had been in frequent contact, exchanging text messages that suggested a deeper connection. "Almost ready," Lisa wrote in one message. Another cryptic note read, "It's going to change everything." Price obtained a warrant to search Carter's nightclub. In his private office, investigators found unmarked vials containing substances that preliminary tests identified as chemical compounds similar to the poison found in Alex's system. Carter denied any involvement, claiming the vials were unrelated to Alex's death. However, his evasiveness and the financial link to Lisa painted a different picture. The breakthrough came from Alex's computer. Forensic analysis revealed an encrypted folder containing personal notes and financial concerns. One unsent email stood out. It was addressed to Alex's lawyer and detailed his struggles with Lisa's excessive spending. "I'm trying to keep things afloat," Alex wrote, "but Lisa's demands are draining me. I don't know how much longer I can do this." The email hinted at mounting marital tensions and added weight to the theory of financial motives. More damning evidence emerged from the computer's deleted search history. Investigators recovered terms like undetectable poisons and how to administer toxins discreetly. The searches were time-stamped during a period when Alex was out of town, leaving Lisa with access to the computer. This discovery suggested premeditation and tied Lisa directly to the crime. Price also examined the life insurance policy Alex had recently taken out. Lisa had encouraged him to purchase the $200,000 policy, citing financial security. The timing of the policy and Alex's sudden death raised red flags. To Price, it was clear Lisa stood to gain significantly from Alex's demise. Piece by piece, the evidence built a damning case. Lisa had brought Alex lunch on the day of his death, a seemingly thoughtful gesture that now appeared calculated. The poison was likely concealed in the food, and Lisa's nervous behavior caught on security footage supported this theory. The rarity of the poison had initially worked in her favor, but its unique nature ultimately became the key to unraveling her plan. Carter's role in the scheme remained murky, but his financial ties to Lisa and the discovery of chemical compounds in his office implicated him as an accomplice. Text messages between the two suggested a coordinated effort, though Carter denied involvement during questioning. "She's just a friend," he claimed, but his defensiveness only fueled suspicion. In subsequent interviews, Lisa maintained her innocence, portraying herself as a grieving widow. However, her story began to crumble under the weight of evidence. When confronted with the surveillance footage, financial transactions, and incriminating search history, she shifted blame to Carter. "He pressured me," she insisted. "He said it was the only way." Carter, meanwhile, continued to stonewall investigators. His refusal to cooperate left many questions unanswered, but the circumstantial evidence against him was overwhelming. Price theorized that Carter had supplied the poison and possibly helped Lisa devise the plan, motivated by promises of financial gain. As the investigation neared its conclusion, Price reflected on the complexity of the case. What had started as a presumed heart attack had unraveled into a web of deceit and betrayal. Alex Romero's life, defined by his passion and generosity, had been cut short by those closest to him. Yet, through meticulous detective work, Price ensured that the truth would come to light. Detective Jenna Price's investigation into Alex Romero's death was gaining momentum. With each piece of evidence uncovered, the mystery surrounding his tragic demise deepened. Yet the path to uncovering the truth grew clearer. The challenge lay in assembling the puzzle pieces into a cohesive picture of what had happened and why. The turning point came when Price analyzed the surveillance footage from the bakery. Lisa's unusual visit on the afternoon of Alex's death was now a focal point. The footage showed her entering the kitchen with a small bag, ostensibly bringing Alex lunch. Lisa's behavior on camera, glancing over her shoulder and appearing tense, raised red flags. Investigators theorized that this was when the poison was introduced into Alex's food. The toxicology report confirmed the poison's presence in Alex's system, and its concentration suggested it had been ingested just hours before his collapse. This aligned perfectly with Lisa's visit to the bakery. The poison, a rare compound derived from castor beans, required expertise to process. This detail hinted at collaboration, as Lisa herself lacked the technical knowledge to prepare it. Price's suspicions about Darius Carter's involvement intensified. Next, Price revisited the financial evidence. Lisa's history of large cash withdrawals in the weeks leading up to Alex's death painted a picture of careful planning. The $5,000 deposit into Carter's account stood out. When questioned, Lisa claimed it was repayment for a personal loan, but her explanation lacked credibility. Text messages between Lisa and Carter suggested otherwise. The cryptic tone of their exchanges, with phrases like, "It's all set and we'll be free soon," hinted at a shared secret. Carter's role in the scheme remained a puzzle. Known for his connections to Portland's underworld, he had always been careful to avoid direct ties to criminal activities. But the search of his nightclub had yielded compelling evidence. The unmarked vials found in his office, along with records of chemical purchases, linked him to the poison used in Alex's murder. Forensic analysis confirmed that the compound in Carter's possession matched the toxin in Alex's system. Witness testimonies added weight to the theory of collaboration. Employees at the Velvet Room described Lisa as a frequent visitor in the months before Alex's death. She often met with Carter privately, spending hours in his office. One employee recalled overhearing fragments of a heated discussion about getting things done and no loose ends. The investigation also uncovered a new lead, a digital trail left by Lisa. A forensic examination of her phone revealed deleted messages and emails that had been partially recovered. Among them was a damning email draft addressed to Carter. In it, Lisa expressed doubts about their plan, but ultimately reaffirmed her commitment. "I'm scared," the draft read, "but this is the only way for us to be free." Price's team also uncovered evidence from Lisa's computer. Deleted search history revealed inquiries about poisons, their effects, and how to administer them undetected. While Lisa had claimed ignorance of the poison during earlier interviews, these searches painted a different picture. The timestamps on the searches matched a period when Alex was away, giving Lisa full access to their home computer. The most incriminating piece of evidence was the life insurance policy. Lisa had been the sole beneficiary of a $200,000 payout, and the policy had been taken out just weeks before Alex's death. While Lisa maintained that the policy was a precautionary measure for their financial security, the timing was too convenient to ignore. Price now saw the policy as a critical component of the motive, financial desperation combined with the allure of a fresh start with Carter. As Price pieced together the timeline, a chilling narrative emerged. Lisa and Carter had conspired to eliminate Alex. Lisa's growing dissatisfaction with her marriage, her financial struggles, and her affair with Carter had culminated in a calculated plan. Carter, with his connections and resources, had likely procured the poison and guided Lisa in its use. Together, they had created a scenario that, at first glance, appeared to be a natural death. However, their plan had overlooked key details. The rarity of the poison ensured that Alex's death would be scrutinized more thoroughly than they anticipated. The combination of forensic evidence, digital trails, and financial records unraveled their carefully constructed facade. Carter's involvement was further corroborated when investigators discovered payments he had made to an anonymous supplier specializing in exotic chemicals. These payments, traced through encrypted transactions, linked him directly to the acquisition of the poison. Despite his claims of innocence, the evidence against him was mounting. When confronted with the full scope of the evidence, Lisa began to crack. Her demeanor shifted from confident to defensive, and her explanations grew increasingly inconsistent. In one interview, she claimed she had been coerced by Carter, describing him as manipulative and threatening. "He said if I didn't go through with it, he'd ruin my life," she insisted. However, her statements didn't align with the evidence of her active participation. Carter, on the other hand, maintained his silence. Refusing to answer further questions, he relied on his lawyer to deflect accusations. Despite his evasiveness, the evidence against him spoke volumes. His financial ties to Lisa, the chemical compounds in his possession, and his communications with her painted a damning picture. Detective Price's meticulous work ensured that no detail was overlooked. Every piece of evidence, from the surveillance footage to the digital trails, converged to tell a story of betrayal and greed. Alex Romero, a man who had dedicated his life to his community, had fallen victim to those he trusted most. The investigation had uncovered not just the how, but the why, revealing the dark motivations behind a seemingly perfect facade. Yet there was still one piece missing, a confession. Under mounting pressure during a final interrogation, Lisa's composure shattered. Confronted with overwhelming evidence, including her deleted search history and Carter's chemical purchases, she broke down. Lisa admitted to poisoning Alex but deflected blame onto Carter. "He told me it was the only way out," she sobbed. Her confession, while self-serving, sealed her fate and solidified her role in the crime. Carter, however, maintained his silence, refusing to cooperate. It wasn't until investigators uncovered encrypted payments linking him to a black market supplier of toxic substances that he reconsidered. Faced with irrefutable evidence, Carter struck a plea deal. In exchange for a reduced sentence, he provided a detailed account of the plan, confirming Lisa's active involvement and revealing how they had orchestrated the murder together. The trial was a media sensation, captivating public interest with its blend of betrayal and calculated cruelty. Prosecutors meticulously presented the conspiracy's timeline. They described how Lisa, driven by greed and dissatisfaction, had approached Carter with the idea. Carter, leveraging his illicit connections, procured the poison and advised Lisa on its use. Witness testimonies from Alex's employees and Carter's nightclub staff added credibility, painting a vivid picture of the web of lies and deceit. The jury's deliberation was swift, reflecting the strength of the case. Lisa was convicted of first-degree murder and conspiracy, earning a life sentence without parole. Carter, benefiting from his plea deal, received a reduced sentence of 20 years for conspiracy and accessory to murder. While the courtroom drama reached its peak, Detective Price reflected on the case. It had been one of the most emotionally charged investigations of her career. The betrayal at its heart, the weaponization of Alex's trust, made the pursuit of justice deeply personal. Yet Price's meticulous work ensured that the truth prevailed and that Alex's story would not be forgotten. The resolution of the trial brought a sense of closure to Alex's community, though the scars of betrayal lingered. The bakery's employees, inspired by Alex's legacy, rallied together to keep his dream alive. Through their efforts, Sweet Crust Bakery continued to thrive, serving as both a tribute to Alex and a reminder of the resilience of those left behind. The verdict brought a sense of closure to Alex's grieving community. Sweet Crust Bakery, once a symbol of warmth and hard work, stood as a stark reminder of the tragedy that had unfolded within its walls. Yet, it also became a beacon of resilience. Alex's employees, led by his longtime assistant Jasmine Taylor, rallied to keep the bakery alive. Under their stewardship, Sweet Crust continued to thrive, transforming tragedy into a testament to Alex's enduring legacy. Detective Price reflected on the case as one of the most challenging of her career. It wasn't just the complexity of the evidence, but the emotional weight of uncovering a betrayal so intimate. Alex Romero had trusted Lisa implicitly, and that trust had been weaponized against him. Yet, Price found solace in knowing that her efforts had brought justice to Alex and his community. Lisa's life, once defined by glamour and charm, became a cautionary tale of greed and betrayal. In prison, she faded into obscurity, her story serving as a stark reminder of how ambition and deceit can destroy lives. Carter, despite his cooperation, faced the loss of everything he had built, his name forever tied to one of Portland's most shocking crimes. For the community, Alex's memory endured. Regulars at Sweet Crust spoke often of his kindness and dedication, ensuring his story was never forgotten. The bakery's new owners hung a portrait of Alex by the entrance, a tribute to the man who had built more than just a business. He had built a family. Annual charity events, inspired by Alex's generosity, were organized to support local causes, reinforcing the values he had lived by. As for Detective Price, the case served as a defining moment in her career. It was a stark reminder of why she pursued justice, to give a voice to those who could no longer speak for themselves. Through meticulous work and relentless pursuit of the truth, she had ensured that Alex Romero's story ended not in darkness, but with justice and light. Price, though deeply affected, carried the lessons of the case forward, using them to inspire her team and approach future cases with renewed determination. Alex Romero's story is one of resilience, betrayal, and ultimately justice. His life and legacy continue to inspire a community that rallied in the face of tragedy. Sweet Crust Bakery stands as a testament to his kindness and dedication, proving that even in the darkest times, light prevails. If you found this story as compelling as we did, let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more true crime stories that dive deep into the details. Together, we can keep these stories alive and ensure that justice is never forgotten. What would you do if faced with a partner who displayed such red flags?